Hello, Pisces, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a reading for January 2023, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future. You guys kind of got lucky because I got a new deck in the mail, so I'm actually starting to do not just my tarot deck, and then I obviously have the decks that I use in the extended, but I also have this overall energy deck that I absolutely love. It's this Sacred Symbols Oracle deck. I saw it on Amazon and I just couldn't pass it up, to be honest. So I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah, as usual, we will dive into tarot, and then in the extended, I will have the clarifying messages as well as pull an advice card from my Soul Truth Self Awareness deck. All right. So overall, I was going to just pull one card, but these both came out at the same time. So I figured that they were probably meant to go together. The overall energy for this reading is transformation and growth. I just love these cards. I mean, they're so simple, but it's like, I feel like that's kind of how tarot is. It's so simple, but so in depth at the same time. And this transformation that you're going through, I feel like it's either been sudden or it's been happening for a long time and you're just now realizing it. Because in your recent past, you have be bold and make the first move with the Hierophant card. So there's some sort of perspective shift that you had in your recent past, or just some general wisdom that you've acquired. I'm not exactly sure, but what I see is this is leading you to make a move towards some sort of new beginning. And it's a new beginning that is up to you. It's not, I feel like maybe you think you're waiting on something or someone else, but it's a new beginning that's up to you, because you have in your current energy, you have a time to give rather than to take with the Page of Cups. So it's almost like this is currently something that you need to be investing in emotionally. And since it's a time to give rather than to take, it's not yet reciprocating whatever it is that you're investing. We will obviously get more information on that. In your immediate future, you have conclusions are within reach with the Fool card. So it's like I don't know if you're completing a cycle or like I feel like this new beginning is already yours. It's almost like you're in the middle of a transformation for this new beginning, but it's not necessarily like, I feel like cycles have ended and now you're in this period of like almost like preparation for something here. I'm not quite sure what, but we will see. All right, Pisces, let's get some information here. His recent past for Pisces, clarifying this be bold and make the first move in the Hierophant card. Recent past for Pisces. The Six of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel like in your past, it just seems like whatever you try to invest in, whatever you try to build on, whether it be a new career, a new relationship, new friendships, it just feels like it doesn't stick. Nothing seems to stay in your life for the long term. And I feel like that's been very frustrating for you for a long time, because it just feels like every time you feel like you take, a couple steps forward, you feel like you take, 3 or 4 steps backwards, or maybe even it's like 1 or 2 steps forward. Sorry, I have dog hair all over my face. 1 or 2 steps forward, and then, 50 million steps backwards. It just kind of feels like nothing sticks. But what I feel like, because there's the Page of Swords. So what I feel like this is doing is preparing you, like what you've been through and what you've learned through what you've been through is actually prepared you for this new beginning here. And it's a new beginning that I don't think you necessarily know is coming. But yeah, that's the case. It's like this transformation has been occurring for a long time, but this new beginning is kind of going to be coming out of the blue for you. So that's where I was getting that from. All right, recent past for Pisces. The High Priestess and the King of Cups with the Eight of Swords in reverse. So this is a lot about, I'm going to read this message in a couple of ways, because you have the High Priestess, which means in your recent past was a time to really be honing in on your intuition. And I feel like that's kind of where you're at right now. Like, I feel like your intuition right now is kind of breaking you out of these limiting beliefs, because you'll hear me say this on my channel anytime I pull this card. This is my favorite card in tarot, the Eight of Swords in reverse, because it's releasing yourself from the limiting beliefs that hold you back from being able to manifest and create the life that you ultimately want. Because as I will often talk about on this channel, your thoughts become your beliefs become your actions become your reality. But the problem is that a lot of our beliefs, I think like 90 to, I don't remember exactly the number, 90+% of our movements, choices, actions, and behaviors are actually subconscious. And our subconscious belief systems have come from our experiences, most of them being in childhood. So, what we've learned to believe about ourselves and the world around us and our future, it has stemmed from what we've experienced. And so, a healing journey, a spiritual journey, is less about learning who you are and more about remembering who you are, because at one point we came into this world knowing nothing except that we existed. Anything above and beyond that was up to the interpretation of our experiences. And so it's almost like remembering who you are and remembering your path and what it is that you actually want underneath all of the all of the stuff that society and your surroundings have put on you. And so that's why this is my favorite card. And I talk about all of that to say that's kind of what you've been dealing with right now. You've been dealing, because you have your past here, the Six of Cups. Like, this is to me like childhood. It doesn't have to be that far in your past, but just something from your past that has affected your belief system in a way that has kept you trapped in limiting beliefs. And so in your recent past with this High Priestess card, it was almost like finding this balance within yourself to no longer believe that what you've experienced is going to continue to repeat itself. Because the reason we repeat cycles and the reason that we have to kind of, sometimes it feels like we are constantly finding ourselves in the same relationship over and over again, or finding ourselves in the same type of career over and over again. And a lot of times that we have to do that so that we can eventually realize that that's not the path for us. And so your recent past was a lot about learning. You learned a lot, and a lot about you, actually. And what you learned about yourself is what is allowing you to break free and step into this new beginning here. So I like that a lot. I feel like that's very it's always very healing to let go of your past and step into something new. All right, recent past for Pisces. Temperance in reverse with the Emperor in reverse. So that's okay, that makes plenty of sense. With the Devil, you in reverse. Okay. You have kind of been struggling with what every single person on a spiritual / manifestation journey struggles with, and that's letting go of control. The number one way that we can co-create our life with this universe is by letting go of the outcome, meaning we are not attached to a specific person that we end up with. We're not attached to a specific idea of what our future looks like, but we're more focused on what we want to feel. We want to feel supported, loved, abundant. We want to feel these things, but it doesn't really matter what it looks like, because we're the circumstances we attach ourselves to, being maybe it's a specific person or a specific career or whatever the case is, we're only attaching to those things because we feel like they're going to bring us the feelings that we're ultimately searching for. So I say all that to say that the universe is trying to provide you with what it is that you've been asking for. The universe is trying to answer your prayer. But the thing is, you've been getting in your own way. With this Emperor in reverse card, this is being a little bit too controlling. In the Temperance in reverse, this is a lack of patience, a lack of really truly putting that faith in the universe and saying, I believe in divine timing, and I believe that I will find what it is I need to find, and find the power within me to be able to bring that to me whenever I'm ready or whenever it's time. So this is really a reading about divine timing. And that's why it's interesting, because you have this, be bold to make the first move. You've learned a lot in your past that is now, and I feel like a lot recently in your past, that has kind of moved you forward into going from, because the way that I kind of explain turning our conscious thoughts into a subconscious belief is we kind of have to learn things twice. We learn it on a conscious, thought level, and we say, okay, say it's I deserve love, right? If you're learning I deserve love, or I deserve abundance, whatever it is, you learn it up here, and then you're faced with situations where you then have to act and really keep true to that belief so that it then actually becomes internalized. I feel like that was a little confusing the way I just said that, but basically it's taking your intention and turning into a reality. And I feel like with this, what you're learning, or what you have learned, is allowing you to move forward into this new beginning. But right now you're struggling with a little bit of lack of patience. And that lack of patience is so normal. But it's all, with this Devil in Reverse card here, it's all releasing you from your attachment to your outcomes, essentially, to what you want your life to look like. And here's the Seven of Swords in reverse, or sorry, Seven of Swords. There's a lot hidden from you right now. You don't really see what the universe is up to. And I feel like this is about really believing that the universe does have your back here. But it's this personal transformation that you've gone through, and this wisdom that you've acquired, and this growth that you've gone through, that's actually prepared you for this. So you've been in a preparation period, and I don't think you've even really known it. And that's kind of the beauty of being able to, read tarot, is being able to look at the bigger picture. So that's my goal with my readings. Okay, current energy for Pisces. But it's not preparing you for anything specific. That's the biggest thing I need you to focus on here. Okay, you have the Five of Pentacles with the King of Swords in reverse. Right now, you're really focused on what you have lost. Your focus has really been on what it is that you don't yet have, or what it is that you've lost and wish you could have back. That is actually within itself what's keeping you trapped in this feeling of loss. What we focus on is what we attract more of. We focus on loss. We focus on frustration. We focus on lack. That's what we're going to experience more of. And with this King of Swords in reverse, it's almost like you're tricking yourself into believing that you've lost anything at all, where if you could step away from the situation and kind of see the bigger picture, you'd be able to say, okay, every single loss always leads to a gain. And so if I've lost something, that means that I'm only opening my door for gaining more. Now, of course, that's such an easy concept to say out loud, right? It's hard. It's so much harder to internalize. And I feel like that's kind of where you're at right now. Is it's like you're in this a time to give rather than to take. And that card for me is really, you're in an investment period of your life. You're investing in your emotional side. You're investing in kind of it's that as above, so below concept. You're investing in that as above right now. You're investing in what you can create in your mind that then becomes your reality. But right now is a really, really important time to stay out of your head. And I know for Pisces, typically being a little bit more dreamy and kind of spending your time more in your head, that's hard. So I just feel like right now is a time to really, really focus on, like, you, really. I honestly, like, it's like focus on you, your inner world, as opposed to your external environment right now. Let's get another card for Pisces current energy. There you are, there's the Queen of Cups, and there's the Three of Cups. Right now is also really a time to, this can go two ways, to kind of make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people and energies that make you feel good. And also, for those people and energies that make you feel good, spending time with them right now. And it is the holidays, so that makes sense. Granted, this is a January reading, but it's like this is a time to really make sure you're leaning on your community. It's like I'm hearing, like, you don't have to do it alone, because you're healing, you're transforming, and you're growing right now. And I feel like that typically, sometimes people associate that with isolation. And of course, in a healing journey, there is a need to spend a lot of time alone. But the thing is, you don't have to do it alone. Yes, you have to spend some time alone to really process and heal, but you don't have to do that alone. You have to go through it all alone, I guess is what I'm saying. So right now is a time to really kind of lean on your community, because you are feeling some sort of loss right now, or just like and it could be just material, could be feeling like maybe you lost a job, or you lost some money, or maybe you did lose a relationship, or you lost some friendships, and right now has just kind of been the feeling of that loss is kind of hitting you right now. But it's like there's the King of Cups, Queen of Cups, and King of Cups. So this right now is like a time. It's like a time to be the person you're looking for in someone else for you, whether you're in a relationship or not. And of course, that should always be the case. But right now is really a time to focus on that. It's a time to give rather than to take. It's like, and it's weird because it's to give to you. It's like a time to give to you. But then you have the Page of Cups. It's like give to your emotional world right now. However you tend to nurture yourself emotionally right now is a time to definitely do that, because you are feeling this loss and you're feeling it pretty heavily. But what you don't realize is this: through healing from this loss, you're experiencing this transformation. You are growing without even realizing it. It's kind of that concept of, you don't even realize how you're healing and how you're growing until you look back, 5, 6, 7 months, a year, and you can go, oh my gosh, I've come so far, even though in it you don't really realize that it's happening. And that's why I think this new beginning is kind of coming out of the blue for you, is because it's like, it's it's that concept of how when you're manifesting something, it makes it look like it's happened overnight, because the majority of the process of manifestation is the universe helping turn you into someone that can, yes, absolutely attract it, but also sustain it. Making sure that you're becoming that person that can maintain the relationship you're looking for, that can maintain the job or the career or the abundance that you're looking for. So you're in that period right now, and that we do that through healing. So you're in that period right now, which is why I feel like things feel lonely, I would say, and that's why there's a need to kind of tap into more of your community right now. And if you don't have one, start setting the intention to kind of find one, because yeah, there's the Knight of Cups in reverse with the Two of Pentacles. It's kind of interesting because I feel like your circumstances look pretty good right now with the Two of Pentacles, but you're very emotional about them. There's a lot of emotion in this reading, and of course it's a water sign reading, so that makes plenty of sense, but it's very, don't let your emotions trick you into believing that things aren't good or aren't going to be good or aren't happening for you, because it's easy, right? It's easy to get stuck in our head and to believe that, believe worst case scenarios, or believe that things are always going to be this way. And that's just not the case. You're definitely in a transformation period, and growth sucks sometimes, but it's leading you to where you want to be. So let's see. This is immediate future for Pisces, because you have this: conclusions are within reach with the Fool card. So you are stepping into a new beginning, and I feel like it's a new beginning that you are going to be so excited about. I don't think it's anything you're expecting, though. I don't think it's going to look anything like what you currently think you want. I think it's going to be better. Okay. This has been so interesting, because when I used to read tarot before, my future readings used to be a little bit more like clear, like set in stone. But since I've started doing it this time, it's like my future readings have been saying, here's the choice you have, or here's what you need to do to go this way or that way. Because you have the Devil with the Seven of Wands in reverse. So this is basically saying your attachment to the specific outcomes that you're, attached to, they actually stem from your self-doubt. And it's the doubt in yourself, and not believing that you're always going to be taken care of. As long as you have, this reading isn't always for everyone. This is a general reading. So, do take what resonates. But as long as you're on a healing journey, as long as you have your intention set, as long as you're trying to do what's best for you and for others, then it's all about intentions, right? If your intentions are aligned, then you don't have to worry about the outcomes, because your intentions are what are going to create the outcomes in the first place. So right now, and I think that's what this whole thing is kind of saying, is focus on your intentions. What are you intentionally trying to create for yourself? Are you trying to create a loving household? Are you trying to create an empire for yourself? Like, what are your intentions? What do you want? And set, stick to those. Because right now, you're focused too much on specifics. I want this, I want specifically this relationship, or I want specifically this first. And that will never get you there. But being able to lean on knowing that your intentions are good, are pure, that's what's going to get you there. It's like that. One of my favorite kind of concepts of this spiritual journey that I've come to kind of understand is there is no such thing as doing the right thing. Like, there's not really such thing as like a missed opportunity. It's more about making sure that you get yourself ready for opportunities. We only miss opportunities because the universe makes us, because we aren't ready for them. Now you can get into the whole we are the universe in motion, and it's more us holding ourselves back. I mean, it's both, right? But this to me is just like, it's a reading about like growth, like just overall growth in mindset that is then going to materialize for you. All right, immediate future for Pisces, but it really does stem from your self-doubt, and your immediate future is a lot of kind of letting go of that self-doubt. I see some hope You have some hope coming in. You have the Six of Wands with the Five of Swords in reverse. So your immediate future is very hopeful. But with the Five of Swords in reverse, that is kind of what I was just exactly saying. It's that need to let go of this me against the world mentality and stop believing that the universe doesn't have your back, because it absolutely does. Um, you just have to believe that. You have to believe that about yourself. And it comes down to, believing what you deserve and believing that the universe is always going to provide you with what you deserve. But if you're putting out energies of deserving less, then the universe is only going to be able to meet you halfway. So it's really like, it really comes down to co-creation with the universe. The universe can try to bring us our blessings all day long, but if we're trying to block them with our own belief system of not being lovable, not being deserving, which we may or may not have learned from childhood, well, then that's how we kind of get in our own way. So that's why healing and manifestation is all about going in, going within. And that's this time period for you right now, is really going within so that you can step into this new beginning. In your immediate future, I feel like this conclusion is like this conclusion of this self-reflection period. I feel like you've been in a self-reflection period for a while, or like maybe just an emotional period. Like you've just felt overly emotional or overly sensitive, maybe. Um, yeah, okay. Immediate future for Pisces. The world. There's that. I mean, that's the completion of a cycle right there. Yeah. Oh, I love that for you guys. So yeah, you have the World card with the Five of Cups in reverse. I mean, this is healing. This is letting go of sadness. So it's like, it is a cycle. But it's not a cycle. It's a growth cycle. It's not a cycle of circumstances. It's a cycle of mindset. It's like maybe you get yourself into a mindset of like, you find yourself, maybe you start to dwell on the negatives, like with the energy you're kind of in. And that's why it's saying, if you continue to dwell on the negatives, you're going to continue to see the negatives. But if you can kind of try to look beyond the loss that you've incurred, and I know that can be so hard, but trying to look past that and saying, here are all the things I have to be grateful for. I have a warm home. I have a bed to sleep in. I have a friend to talk to. My parents are still alive. Whatever the case is, like really, really trying to find the little things that you have to be grateful for, because the more that you focus on gratitude, the more you start to see more things to be grateful for. Your perception really, really does become your reality. So right now is a time to focus on that. And you're transforming here, Pisces, and you've been in this preparation period for so long that it almost, like, I feel like you kind of not gave up hope necessarily, like I don't feel like you're hopeless, but you've just kind of like, you're just kind of like, I guess this is just how things are always going to be, and the universe is like, you got some really good stuff coming. So I'm excited for you guys. We are going to hop on over to the extended. I'm going to clarify each of these messages. I like doing the extendeds as a clarifying reading because we can kind of shrink the collective and make things a little bit more specific. And then I have my Soul Truth Self-Awareness deck to pull an advice card from at the end. So thank you guys so very much for watching and for the support of my channel. It means more to me than you know. And I hope to see you guys in future readings. All right, bye, Pisces.